Hi, I'm Janice Milusich, and I'm so happy to be joining you today to share with you my book, Cleo's Big Ideas, Flattening the Curve. Cleopatra W. Darby's usual list of big ideas was longer than a python pulled straight. Ever since she'd moved into her new old house in Humble, she'd surprised everyone with the kooky gadgets and gizmos that had come from them. First, there was the SS Gag, super solar garden arc grower, that tracked the angle of the sun's rays, soaked up its light, and reflected it anywhere you sent it. Then there was the EEW, Echo Envirowarmer, which would have, if Miss Mason hadn't flung it, let Cleo's pet tortoise Winston visit Humble Elementary School's air-conditioned rooms without going into hibernation. Ideas hadn't ever been a problem for Cleo. Making friends was. It was only when Albert and his mom delivered the garden club flyer to Cleo's mom that Cleo knew she found a real friend in Albert. And when her friend bought Hope flopped, she discovered a true friend in Sarah. Most people in Humble weren't keen on Cleo's big ideas. Miss Mason used to be one of them. In fact, she broke both the SS Gag and the EEW. Not at the same time, of course. One she sat on, and one, after it singed her pinky finger, she tossed it in the air. When the EEW hit the ground, it smashed into a bazillion pieces. But this fall, Miss Mason became Cleo's teacher. And much to Cleo's surprise, she'd been more open to big ideas. She'd even given Cleo the wire needed to make the heating element that fixed Winston's EEW. But then the virus came, and everything changed. School closed, and Cleo's days were filled with classroom Zoom meetings, which didn't Zoom at all, and mountains of homework. Miss Mason gave tons more work than she ever did in regular school. Cleo had homework even in gym and library. And with Mom and Dad constantly home now, they popped their heads into her room all the time just to check on her. Worse still, Cleo's mom wanted to help her with her homework. That was getting on Cleo's nerves big time. Cleo's system for getting things done was way different from her mom's. "Hi, Cleo." It was Dad. "Oh no," thought Cleo, "he's going to ask it," she cringed. She slipped her fedora, which is her hat, down over her eyes. "Here it comes," she's thinking. "How's my idea, Agent? Got any whoppers today?" "No, Dad." It was the same thing she'd answered for going on 4 weeks. Once the coronavirus hit, Cleo's ideas had shrunk in size. She had small ideas, like her mini mask for Winston. She had medium ideas, like rewiring her remote control Haul and Go to deliver groceries. But she couldn't think of a big idea that'd make the virus go away or help people who had gotten it. It seemed her big ideas had dried up and blown away like the seeds on a dandelion puff. Ring! The phone rang. Her dad picked up. "Oh, hello, Miss Mason." Dad shot a glance toward Cleo. "Yes, of course. Cleo's right here." Mom stuck her head into the kitchen. Dad nodded to her. Cleo glared. She started to mouth, "Did you call?" But Dad handed Cleo the phone at the same time her mom ducked out of the room. Cleo stared at the receiver, like it might bite. "Hello?" "Hi, Cleo," said Miss Mason. "I was wondering if you fixed that solar garden arc grower you made." No." "Oh," Miss Mason sounded disappointed. "Why?" asked Cleo. "Well, you know, the Venus flytraps we planted in the classroom. I'm afraid I might have closed the blinds on the last day I was in school. If I did, then they're not getting enough light, and they also need to be fed. But Principal Jared doesn't want any teachers in the school building." "I don't have the SS Gag up and going, but my remote control Haul and Go would work. It's been delivering Mrs. Gerard's groceries to her. It sanitizes them before it puts them away." "That was nice of you to help your neighbor," said Miss Mason. "I'm sure Mrs. Gerard appreciates it." "It was easy peasy. I attached 2 small grabber arms to it. They spritz and wipe down the boxes and bags. Once that's done, they put the stuff away. Nothing to it." Cleo slid her pencil from the band in her fedora and drew up a plan on a paper towel that was on the countertop. To get it to work for the Venus flytraps, all I'd have to do is reprogram it to open the blinds, unscrew the container of mealworms, and place some into the plant's traps. The biggest problem is getting the Holland-Goat into school. I can drop off my badge, said Miss Mason, and you'll need the classroom keys. But do you think your gripper-grabber will be able to reach high enough to hold my badge up to the sensor outside the school building? Easy. Okay then, I'll let Principal Jared know, and it should be no problem. As soon as she says okay, I'll leave my badge and the keys on your porch. Oh, and there's one other thing. I left a half-eaten banana in my desk drawer. Could your gripper-grabber get rid of it for me? Sure. Thank you, Cleo, said Miss Mason. I knew you'd come up with a stellar idea. Thought Cleo. I bet Mom and Dad had something to do with that call. Mom! Dad! She yelled. Ping! It was the sound of an incoming email. Cleo peered at her laptop. Actually, it was her mom's, but Cleo had taken it over ever since Zoom school started. Oh, wow! It was a Zoom invite from Jiwan. When Cleo lived in the city, Jiwan was her next-door neighbor. Cleo in 2B and Jiwan in 2C. Hey, said Jiwan. Hi, how's it going? Asked Cleo. I'm sick of schoolwork. Me too. My teacher's been piling it on since school closed. And get this, she just called wanting me to help get our classroom Venus flytraps fed. Even more work. But at least that'll be fun. How are you going to do it? Remote control haul and go? You got it, said Cleo. I programmed mine to do our shopping. We don't ever have to go out, said Jiwan. If we don't want to. No kidding? Did you set it to sanitize the stuff too? Nah, I'm using HerbieBot to do that. He's got a whole sanitizing station. He takes care of everything that comes in the building. I wish I knew AI like you do, said Cleo. Hey, how's the community garden we started? Closed. Ours too, Cleo shook her head. I'm so sick of not being able to go out, then if I do, having to wear a mask. I know what you mean, but most days I'm stuck inside with Zoom classes. Anyway, my mom doesn't want me going out. She says there's no way to safely social distance in the city. Even with a mask on, you still brush up against buildings, people, and... Jiwan paused like she wanted to say something, but the words stuck. And what? Asked Cleo. You wouldn't believe this, Cleo. People are being jerks, even in the building. They're calling us names and blaming us for the virus. It doesn't matter that I'm not Chinese. As soon as they see someone who looks Asian, they get nasty, saying stupid things that hurt. Anyway, because of my grandma, it's better if we stay home. Jiwan shook her head. You remember Mrs. Joy? Her eyes teared. Sure, is she okay? Asked Cleo. She died of the virus. Cleo stared at Jiwan. Had she heard right? No, she couldn't have. Mrs. Joy is dead? Jiwan nodded. Cleo could feel her eyes tear up. Oh, Jiwan, if only you and your mom and grandma could come live with us. There's a lot more space here. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have complained. She blew her nose. It's okay, Cleo, don't feel bad. I wish we could come live with you too, said Jiwan. Maybe when this is all over, said Cleo. You know, I heard the governor said that parts of the state are reopening. I heard that too, but it's in stages. And my mom said cities will be the last to open. Jiwan sighed. Anyway, I've got something to show you. It's on the roof. I'll take you up. The roof? Mr. Moyes lets you up there now? Yeah, ever since this all started, each family is allowed a certain amount of time on the roof. We have appointments. Weird, huh? Yeah, weird. It's the only place to get some space. He even let us make a garden up there. It's just about our time now. Jiwan carried her laptop across her apartment. Mom, I'm taking Cleo up to the roof. What? Mrs. Wu appeared into the computer. Oh, hi, Cleo. Sure. Grandma and I are going up for some fresh air, too. Oh, hi, Cleo. Sure. Grandma and I are going up for some fresh air, too. Jiwan opened the door. Great, the elevator's open. Its door is closed. Cleo watched the numbers go up, up, up. This is so cool. But the higher the elevator rose, the more Jiwan's image broke up. It finally froze. Oh no, said Cleo. She couldn't see or hear Jiwan. Everything okay? Asked Mom, coming into the room. Jiwan's computer froze. Try and send her another invite. Cleo smiled as she looked at her screen. She beat me to it. The internet should work better up here, said Jiwan. Mr. Moyes put a tower up just for our building. Jiwan turned the computer camera toward a beautiful garden. Wow, eggplants, beans, tomatoes, said Cleo. Yeah, and peppers and lettuce too. Cleo and Jiwan talked until Jiwan's roof time was over. Zoom again next week? Asked Cleo. Absolutely, said Jiwan. Posilutely, said Cleo. No sooner had Jiwan ended the Zoom meeting when, bring! Since the virus, the phone seemed to ring non-stop. Cleo's mom answered it. Oh, no. Okay. Can I do anything to help? Yes. All right. Cleo watched her mom hang up the phone. Something was wrong. What, Mom? She asked. Tell me. Her mom wiped at her eyes. It's Zizi. He's in the hospital. He has COVID-19. Zizi, Zeke Zappa, owned the Emporium. It was the everything store in town. If you wanted anything from heating coils to servos to writing paper or dealy boppers, Zizi's Emporium was the place to find it. Will it be okay? Asked Cleo. Zizi was Cleo's biggest fan, had been since they moved in. Mom took a breath before answering. He's young, she said, so I think he'll be okay. She sighed. Is there anything we can do? Asked Cleo. We're doing it right now, said Mom. We wash our hands, keep a safe 6 feet distance from people, and wear masks when we go out. But that's just for us, said Cleo. No, it's not. We keep our distance and wear the masks for others, and they do the same for us. Can we go see Zizi? Asked Cleo. He can't have visitors, Cleo. But if we wear a mask, we don't have the right kind of masks to visit him in the hospital. We could get them. The hospital doesn't even have enough masks, gloves, gowns, or even the ventilators that they need. We could send a card. The hospital's holding the mail. The virus could be on it, and they just don't have enough staff to disinfect each piece when it arrives. Said Cleo. She cocked her fedora, tilted it back. You know what Jiwan did, Mom? She programmed her Herbie-bot to sanitize everything that comes into the building. He can speak and even recognize people from their eyes. Maybe she'd help me make Hope, my failed friend bot, do what Herbie does, but for the hospital. That sounds like a super idea, said Mom. It's good to hear you talk about ideas again. That's why you called Miss Mason, isn't it? Asked Cleo. Yes, said Mom, smiling a little sheepishly. She shrugged her shoulders. A mom's got to do what a mom's got to do. Cleo hugged her. Miss Mason needs help taking care of the Venus flytraps in the classroom. I just have to reprogram the hole and go to do it. That and throw out a half-eaten banana she left in her drawer. Cleo rolled her eyes. Mom wrinkled her nose. Sounds like it could be a stinky job. Yeah, said Cleo. She looked out the window. Her hole and go was waiting on Mrs. Gerard's front step. She grabbed its remote and maneuvered it back home along the empty sidewalk and across the street to the porch. Mom sighed again and then headed outside. Cleo followed her. She watched her pull up weeds. The wind tugged at her mom's hair. Cleo had never seen her mom look so... Was it scared, worried, or both? Can I help? Asked Cleo. No, there's really not that many weeds. I just need to do something with my hands. I need to keep busy now. Hey! It was Dad. Mom looked up. You okay? He asked. I just got news that Zizi's in the hospital. His sister emailed me, said Dad. I'm heading over to the store now to help her stock the shelves. It's open? Asked Cleo. But how? He's in the hospital. He's asked his sister to run the store now. Dad pushed his glasses up onto his nose. It's an essential business. The town needs it to stay open. Can I go with you? No, Cleo. If only one of us has to worry about wearing a mask or touching our face, it's much safer. Cleo kicked at a tuft of grass. I guess. If we weren't going through this, Cleo, you know I'd ask you to come, said Dad. Cleo nodded. So, anything you can think of that you need while I'm there? Cleo touched the brim of her fedora. Her eyebrow rose. Actually, yes. A 1/2-inch wide dowel, about 36 inches long, a piece of 24-inch PVC pipe, and a roll of some electrical tape. What's it all for? I'm rebuilding the hole and go for Miss Mason, and then I'm making another remote. Ji-Wan gave me this idea to reprogram HopeBot to sanitize the hospital's mail. Dad looked stunned. That sounds ambitious, but if anyone can do it, you can. I'll definitely look. Cleo watched him walk toward the car. His mask hung around his neck. Another idea was tickling her brain. It was a small one, but zowie, she thought. What if she got the whole class to help? She ran inside and opened up her laptop. She typed in how to make a mask. In the search bar, she got a slew of hits. She clicked on the CDC, Center for Disease Control, site. It was all there in black and white. Dad was just about at the end of the driveway. Cleo ran out waving her arms. Dad, could you see if they have any elastic at ZZ's and bandanas too? Elastic? Yeah, the narrow kind, or hairbands. Okay, will do, said Dad. Cleo watched him drive down the street. She smiled. It felt good to have ideas bubbling up inside her again, even if they were on a smaller scale than she was used to. Cleo, isn't it time for your Zoom class? Asked Mom. I know. I'm just going to email Ji-Wan quick. Then I'll join the meeting. Miss Mason started the class talking about a space launch made by 2 American astronauts on a mission to the ISS, International Space Station. It was the first time since 2011 they'd launched from America, which was pretty cool, but still not enough to keep Cleo's attention. She just kept thinking about Ji-Wan and her bot. She hoped Ji-Wan would get back to her tonight. She didn't want to wait a whole week to get started on the new improved HopeBot. She reduced her Zoom window to check out the CDC site. There were 2 ways to make masks, sew and no sew. Sarah knows how to sew, thought Cleo. She messaged her. To Sarah from Cleo. Does your grandma's sewing machine still work? Cleo attached the CDC link. In less time than it took to say CDC, Sarah messaged back. To Cleo from Sarah. You want her to make a mask? Then Miss Mason's "You are doomed" voice interrupted. Cleo and Sarah, I see that you stopped your video. Unmute yourselves. I'd like to know why. Cleo unmuted and started her video. So did Sarah. There's a really good reason for it, said Cleo. Really good, said Sarah. Miss Mason's eyebrows hovered like 2 thunderclouds. It looked like lightning was about to strike. You missed out on the beginning of an important discussion. I hope this has something to do with some part of our classwork, she said. Well, not really, but it's about something very important, said Cleo. Something we could all do as a class. Can I share my screen? I'd like to see the link first. Okay. Cleo watched as Miss Mason scanned her monitor. The storm in her eyes passed. The clouds were breaking up. Yes, well, I see. But before you tell me more about what you and Sarah were thinking, I'd like to catch you both up on what we as a class talked about while you were gone from our Zoom meeting. It was about the recent protests. Sarah looked like she was going to cry. Why did the policeman keep kneeling on his neck? There's no excuse for it. It was wrong. The policeman shouldn't have done that to Mr. Floyd or to anyone, said Miss Mason. That's what the protests are about, how police treat black and brown people differently, and how that has to change. Sarah nodded. But will it? Asked Cleo. I believe it will. People from all over the world, all different cultures, races, religions want it to. They're demanding change. The protests are just the beginning. As a class, we'll be sharing resources from www.teachingtolerance.org, as well as www.embracerace.org. Your parents will be involved in our plans and conversations. We've got to do something, said Cleo. Why don't we protest, asked Sarah. That's exactly what Miss Jarrett brought up at the faculty meeting. She'd like the entire school to participate. I'll make signs, said Cleo and Sarah at the same time. Me too, said Claire. And me, said Kim. Jerry held up a sign he'd already made. Everyone can, said Miss Mason. As soon as I find out the details, I'll pass them on to you and your parents. Yes, said Sarah, pumping her arm. Her actions were repeated throughout the whole student gallery. Miss Mason's eyes welled. She smiled. She was proud of us, we could tell. She cleared her throat. Regarding this link you sent, Cleo, what are you and Sarah suggesting? To make masks, just like it shows, said Cleo. If we each make a mask, that'd be 25 masks. Then we could set up a website page so we could sell them and donate the money to the hospital, and they could buy the PPE, personal protective equipment, that they need. I've heard they don't have enough, said Sarah. Yes, I've heard that too. Miss Mason took a deep breath. Okay, go ahead, share your screen with the class, Cleo. After a few minutes, Miss Mason asked, well, class, what do you think? We'd need a team to set up the site page. Anyone interested in volunteering? Let me know in the chat. One after the other, messages streamed in. The class was all for it. Miss Mason, asked Sarah, what if we made masks for the protest? People could buy them, if they don't already have one, and that money could go to communities who have less than we do. I think that's a fantastic idea, Sarah. Thank you both for sharing your ideas with us. I'm going to do the same and reach out to Mrs. Swell later today. I bet her class would like to get involved in these activities too. Miss Mason lowered her eyes. There's something else I want to talk to about. It has to do with Mr. Zappa of ZZ's Emporium. I've just been told he's in the hospital with the virus. He's helped our school out every year with our Maker Festival and our Science Fair. I think it'd be a good idea for each of you to film a short video, frame it horizontally, sending him get well wishes. You can send the video to my school email, mmason@humble.k-12.edu. I'll put them together and forward it to his sister. It might make him feel better knowing that we're thinking of him. Absolutely, said Cleo. You rock, Miss Mason. A small smile crossed Miss Mason's face. Before class ended, Jiwan messaged Cleo. To Cleo from Jiwan. Sure, I'll help. Can you Zoom at 5? Cleo looked at her watch. It was 10 minutes to 4. She sent a quick message back to Jiwan with a Zoom invite. Mom, do you know when Dad's coming home? I want to start reprogramming the Hole and Go. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, he's just pulling into the driveway now. Dad, did you get the stuff? Got it all. Thanks. Cleo reached for it. Hold on, he said. He tore off a paper towel from the roll they kept in the garage, dampened it with alcohol, and wiped down everything. Let them dry, then you can take them. He wiped off the steering wheel of the car and its door handles. Then he placed the cloth around the doorknob that led into the mudroom. Coming? Cleo nodded. She walked past him into the kitchen. Went to hear a new hand-washing song Albert made up? He's getting better at them, but it's still kind of goofy. It's to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Okay, let me hear it, said Dad, turning on the hot water. Wash, wash, wash your hands till they all are sudsy. Rub, rub, rub-a-dub, clean away the germs. Bub, bub, bubbles form while you wash your hands. Rinse them off and watch them swirl swiftly down the drain. Dad laughed. Tell Albert I liked it, he said, drying off his hands. Hey, guess what, Dad? My class is making a video for ZZ. Each of us is sending a 3 to 5 minute clip to Miss Mason to put together and send to his sister. They'll both really like that. Can I get my stuff now? Asked Cleo. Yeah, it should be dry. It was. Cleo put everything into her wagon and headed to her React Shack. Winston, want to keep me company? Winston trundled behind Cleo. Winston, sometimes you act more like a dog than a tortoise, said Cleo, grinning. Come on. It didn't take Cleo long to rewire, reprogram, and rebuild everything. The Hole and Go, now with dual gripper grabbers, was GTG, good to go. And just in time, it was 10 to 5. I'll be right back, Winston, said Cleo. She bolted toward the house. She was back with her laptop and a slice of orange in less than 6 minutes. Hi, Winston, said Jiwan. How's my bud? Winston gave her his best tortoise smile, then bit into the orange slice. So, Cleo, you ready? Asked Jiwan. Ready. Okay, where's your bot? Cleo took Hopebot off her hook. She was in pretty good condition, except for her busted battery pack. That had happened when Emmy flung Cleo's boomerang into her last year. Not bad, said Jiwan. Now let's get down to coding. Ugh, said Cleo. Don't worry, I'll help, said Jiwan. After that, you'll need an API, an application programming interface, and we'll have to update her NLP, natural language processor. You're going to walk me through all of that, right? Said Cleo. Come on, Cleo, it's not that hard. For you, said Cleo. Get with the program, said Jiwan. That is such a bad joke, said Cleo. It is not, said Jiwan. Jiwan tutored. Cleo tinkered. Jiwan corrected. Cleo coded. Jiwan reminded. And Cleo reprogrammed. Give her a go, said Jiwan. Think she's ready? Asked Cleo. There's only one way to know for sure. Cleo flicked Hope's switch. Nothing happened. You have her battery attached? Asked Jiwan. I do now. Cleo rolled her eyes. Hello, Hope. Hello, Cleo, said Hope. Iris scanning recognition and language processing working, said Cleo. Check, said Jiwan. Go on, test her programming. You're going to learn how to disinfect the mail today, said Cleo. Hope rolled her eyes. Cleo looked at Jiwan. What was that? Bottitude? Said Jiwan, smirking. Keep going. Okay, Hope. First you dampen a paper towel with this, said Cleo. She held up a bottle. This is 70% isopropyl alcohol. You wipe the front of the envelope, like this. Cleo showed Hope how to do it. Then you turn over the envelope and swipe the back of it. Cleo, called Mom. Yeah? Dinner's ready. I'm zooming with Jiwan. I'll be in soon. Oh, and Miss Mason dropped off her badge and classroom keys. She said you'd need them. Great, thanks, Mom. Dinner? Asked Hope. My dinner, said Cleo. You'll have yours after we run your program. She passed Hope the paper towel and alcohol. Hope dampened, wiped, and swiped. Please put it in this bin, said Cleo. It's for the disinfected mail. Hope did it. Wow, great job, said Cleo. Easy, right? Said Jiwan. Not really. Come on, it was fun. Jiwan laughed. I've got to go now. My mom's calling, but let me know how Hope does at the hospital. I will. Cleo left Hope to have her bot dinner at her charging station and then ran in for hers. Cleo's mom and dad were excited to see Hope in action, so after dinner, Cleo set up her dad's phone to make 2 videos. The first one was for Zizi. What if we're all in it? Asked Cleo. Okay, said Dad. Mom nodded. The video was happy and sad at the same time. They sent get well wishes to Zizi with smiles on, but each felt worried not knowing how Zizi was doing. Dad cleared his throat. All right, let's see what Hope can do. Wow, said Mom. She's swiping, wiping. The hospital's gonna love her, said Dad. I'll send the video tomorrow, said Cleo. She shook her head. I just hope they can use her. Hey, what's this? Asked Dad, spying the CDC directions on how to make a mask. Oh yeah, everyone in my class is making one to sell on a fundraiser page. The money will go to the hospital for PPE equipment, said Cleo. And Sarah had an idea to make some to sell at the school protest. And the money from those would go to communities who have less PPE than we do. Hey, that's great. 2 super ideas. That night, Cleo tossed and turned in bed. She was excited for the next day. With so many things on her mind, she couldn't stop thinking. She decided to put them on paper. Upcoming uberificness. Number 1, send the videos. The hospital will be begging for Hope. Number 2, make masks. No sew for Cleo. Number 3, get the hole and go to school. Can't let the fly traps flop. With it all planned out, Cleo began to drift off, dreaming of bots. The next morning, Cleo was dressed and ready, even before the sun peeked through her blinds. Lots to do, Queen E, she said, feeding a few flakes to her goldfish. Cleo forwarded Zizi's video to Miss Mason and sent the email to the hospital's administrator before Dad had even taken his first sip of coffee. Ready, she announced. Dad gulped down the coffee. Let's go. Cleo scooted into the back seat of his car, her hole-and-go beside her. As they turned the corner, she saw Albert on his skateboard practicing ollies. Hey, Albert, she called. Albert waved and signed, call me. Ever since he'd started taking ASL, American Sign Language classes, Albert signed almost as much as he talked. It was pretty cool. At school, Cleo waved goodbye to her dad, and with her controller in hand, drove the hole-and-go up to the school's door. The gripper-grabber reached up, activated the sensor, and zipped into the building. Using the camera mounted on it, Cleo maneuvered the hole-and-go down the hall, past Miss Jarrett's office, and straight to the classroom. Once the gripper-grabber unlocked the door, the hole-and-go made its way through the maze of desks. Oh, let's do it again. Using their camera mounted on it, Cleo maneuvered the hole and go down the hall past Miss Jared's office and straight to the classroom. Once the gripper-grabber unlocked the door, the hole and go made its way through the maze of desks toward the bank of windows. The Venus flytraps looked limp. The gripper-grabber tugged open the blinds, slipped the spritzer from its storage compartment, and gave the plants a good soaking. Next, it fed the plants open traps, mealworms. Its final mission was to remove the stinky banana. There it was, at the bottom of the drawer. The gripper-grabber gripped, the banana squished. Ugh. Boy, was Cleo glad she didn't put any smell sensors on the hole and go. Everything taken care of, she headed over to Miss Mason's to drop off the badge and the room keys. "Thanks, Cleo," said Miss Mason from the porch. "See you on Zoom." Cleo waved. There wasn't much time, but if she sprinted, she might get to check her email before class started. "Hi, Mom." "How'd it?" Cleo held up her hand and checked her email. "Yes," she pumped her arm. "The hospital wants to meet Hope. Can I skip the Zoom class, Mom?" From the look on Mom's face, Cleo already knew the answer. Okay, I'll go afterwards." Miss Mason and Mrs. Swell co-hosted the Zoom. Both classes were creating videos for Zizi, working on making signs for the school protest and putting together masks. The site team wound up being Sarah, Cleo, Albert, Emmy, and Kim. Sarah created a template for the site and wrote up a paragraph describing what it was all about. Along with Cleo and Albert, she had volunteered to make a video to attach to the webpage. That left Emmy and Kim in charge of publicity. After the Zoom, Cleo went to her React Shack. Hope was fully charged and ready to go. Cleo and she headed out to meet up with Albert and Sarah. "See you later, Winston," said Cleo. Winston looked up from his lettuce as Hope and Cleo headed down the block. Albert was waiting for Cleo around the corner. "Whoa, HopeBot has returned?" he asked. "New and improved," said Cleo. "Hi, Albert," said Hope. "What, she knows who I am?" "Uh-huh," said Cleo, grinning underneath her mask. "Thank you, G1," she thought to herself. She's going to help out in the hospital mailroom sanitizing the mail so patients can get their cards and letters. "Cool," said Albert. Sarah was waiting for them outside the hospital doors, wearing a new tie-dyed mask she'd made. "Hey, Hope's back." "She sure is," said Cleo. "Come on." The three went up to the information desk. "Hi, I'm Cleopatra Darby. I'm here to see Mr. Carty." "Yes, he mentioned you'd be coming. I'll let him know you're here," said the receptionist. Mr. Carty and a young woman hustled out of the stairwell. He waved, and the woman said, "Hello." "I'm Mr. Carty. Which one of you is Cleo?" he asked. His voice sounded different. It wasn't high or low, just sort of flat sounding. "This is Miss Taylor. She's an interpreter," he said. Miss Taylor smiled. "I'm Cleo, and this is Hope, and these are my friends Sarah and Albert." Miss Taylor signed to Mr. Carty, who nodded. Albert looked about ready to burst. "Hi, how are you?" he signed. He said the words too. Mr. Carty looked surprised. "You know ASL?" he signed and spoke. "A little," said Albert and signed. Mr. Carty raised his hands, palms out, and waved them. Albert beamed. "That's applause," he told Cleo and Sarah. Turning to Cleo, Mr. Carty signed while Miss Taylor interpreted. "Let's go to the mailroom, and you can show us what Hope can do." "Absolutely," said Cleo. Hope collected, swiped, wiped, and placed the mail into the bin, just as she had been programmed. "That was amazing," said Mr. Carty. "You built her all by yourself?" "With a bunch of help from my friend Jiwan," she said. "She's in 5th grade. "Impressive." He looked toward Miss Taylor. She signed. "Wow," said Albert. Mr. Carty tapped the table beside him to get their attention. He signed and Miss Taylor interpreted. "Hope will be a tremendous help to the hospital. On behalf of the staff and patients, I want to thank you." Before they left, Sarah asked, "Mr. Carty, our class is making masks and selling them on a fundraiser site. The money we earn from them we're donating to your hospital for PPE equipment." She looked toward Cleo and Albert. "And I was wondering, we're doing a video to post on the site. Would you be in it?" Once again, Mr. Carty looked surprised. "I'd be happy to be a part of that," he said. By mid-afternoon, the video was a wrap. That evening, the site went live. Thanks to Emmy and Kim getting the word out on social media, the response to the masks was huge. People as far away as Florida, Chicago, and Pennsylvania were buying their masks. Overnight, $500 was raised for the hospital, and more orders for masks were coming in. And what's more, the school protest was now a community-wide protest. It was scheduled to be that coming Saturday. Everyone wanted to participate. It was uberific. "Class, can I have your attention for a moment?" said Miss Mason. "We have a couple of visitors to our Zoom meeting today." An image of Layla, Zizi's sister with a mask on, showed up in the gallery. "I wanted to thank all of you and let you know how much your video meant to both me and my brother. I also wanted to let you know that your get well wishes worked. Zizi is feeling better." She panned the camera, and there was Zizi. He looked a little pale and a lot thinner than he usually was, but his smile was as big as ever. He gave the thumbs up to the camera, and everyone went wild. There were cheers, shouts, kids dancing. Cleo was smiling and crying at the same time. So was Sarah. Zowie, thought Cleo. Maybe it didn't matter what size an idea was. She looked at her laptop screen. It was filled with images of her friends and teachers. What mattered most was people, she thought. People who believed enough to get behind an idea. That, thought Cleo, made all the difference. Well, I hope you enjoyed Cleo's Big Ideas, Flattening the Curve. I enjoyed reading it to you. And stay well, stay safe.